It's Friday, April 12. In the headlines, government allocates $90 million for farmers affected by drought. In business news, Fleetwood, Jamaica acquires Jamaican fragrance company Starfish Oils. Regionally, St. Lucia launches Unleashing the Blue Economy project. And in sports, $1.25 million for Thoroughbred Owners Trophy. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the Morant Bay Urban Centre serves as an important signal to the people of St. Thomas and Jamaica that his administration is serious about developing the parish and bringing greater investments to the east. He made the comment while on a visit to the Morant Bay Urban Centre development site. The Morant Bay Urban Centre is being developed at the Goodyear factory, which has been idle for decades. When completed, it will be the new hub of economic and social activity for St. Thomas. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says it will be a boon for residents.
Many households are going to benefit from the economic and social opportunities that will be curated right here in this 28-acre development. We have a university here. We have training facilities here. We have joined-up government here. We have food, recreation, and commerce right here. We have light industry right here.
He says he's confident in an increase in private investments and housing.
I am certain that even more private investment interest is going to be displayed. And I am almost certain that in short order, there will be housing and residential development around the perimeter of this development. In effect, the government, in making the investment in developing this town, is creating a new economic engine that will power the development of St. Thomas.
He notes that in the past, towns were often built without a plan for growth.
Like Falmouth, Spanish Town, Ocho Rios, they have outgrown the plans laid for them. Some of them 80 years old, more than 100 years old. For our generation to take the development of our country and our built environment in particular very seriously.
He says his administration is able to begin the process of St. Thomas's development because of good management of public finances.
Having solved that issue, the other perennial problem that plagues us is the time it takes to convert ideas into reality to improve the quality of life of the people.
Among the entities that will be occupying the town centre are the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, St. Thomas Parish Court, and all other government agencies located in Morant Bay. Several private sector entities, including banks, business process outsourcing companies, and quick service businesses will also take up space at the facility. The government has allocated $90 million to assist farmers being negatively affected by drought. That's the word from Agriculture Minister Floyd Green. He notes that the drought has become severe and the ministry will be allocating about $24 million to truck water to affected farming areas. He says $58 million will go towards irrigation kits, including storage tanks, drips, and hoses, so that water could be harvested during periods of drought. He adds that a team has been assembled to continuously assess the situation. According to Minister Green, 45 farmers had been assisted to create catchment tanks and areas that would help an additional 1,000 farmers to become more resilient. The minister was speaking at a contract signing ceremony for the Agro-Investment Corporation Irrigation Transmission Force Main and Equipping for Ebony Park, Clarendon, at the ministry's St. Andrew offices. The Ministry of Education and Youth has announced that it will be hosting National Mathematics Week 2024 from Sunday, April 14 to Friday, April 19. This year's theme is Adding Up the Excitement, Maths Rocks. Danita Rodney tells us more.
National Math Week sets out to encourage children to pursue maths by promoting a more positive and inclusive approach. Speaking during a JIS think tank on Thursday, Mathematics Coordinator for the Ministry's Region 7, Camille Johnson-Burrell, said wide-ranging activities have been planned to mark the week, starting with a church service on April 14.
For the Sunday, we start the Sunday with our church service, and we know we have to kickstart our activities welcoming God in our presence. And this church service will be at the Webster Memorial United Church at halfway tree, and we begin at 10 a.m. On Monday, we'll be having the launch, well, not the launch, but we'll be having the Mathematics Teacher of the Year award ceremony, as well as the Jamaica Mathematics Olympiad award ceremony. And that's a collaboration between us and the University of the West Indies. And this one starts at 10 a.m., but it's invitation only.
Mrs. Johnson-Burrell says that there will also be regional activities.
From Tuesday, April 16th to Thursday, April 18th. So for Tuesday, we are looking at Region 6, and we will be at the Cedar Grove Academy. We start at 8:30 a.m. For Wednesday, we'll be at Region 1 at the Mico University College, and we'll start at 9 a.m. Region 5 will be at Monroe College, starting at 8:30 a.m. Region 7 will be at Ashley Primary, starting at 9 a.m. On Thursday, we continue our regional mathematics activities at Region 3, the Port Roads Sports Club, Discovery Bauxite Partners, and we start at 8:30 a.m. Region 2 will be at the Port Antonia High School, starting at 9 a.m., and Region 4 at Cornwall College, Montego Bay, starting at 9 a.m.
According to Mrs. Johnson-Burrell, these regional activities are geared to positively change the negative perception that students and Jamaicans on a whole have on mathematics. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I'm Danita Rodney.
The Tax Administration Jamaica has resumed conducting a pilot of its motor vehicle registration certificate renewal online service. According to the TAJ, this service will allow users to apply, pay online, and pick up the MVRC and sticker within 3 business days at one of 6 tax offices involved at this time, utilizing a special pickup window. In this initial phase, only customers with a private motor vehicle with valid insurance certificates or cover notes and fitness will be able to apply and pay online to renew their MVRC. Once processed, they will be sent an email notification to pick up the registration documents at the Kingston Revenue Service Center, St. Andrew Revenue Service Center, Montego Bay Revenue Service Center, Spanish Town Tax Office, May Pen Tax Office, or St. Anne's Bay Tax Office. Customers will also be able to track the progress of the registration online using TAJ's new motor vehicle registration renewal tracking facility. You should note, though, that persons will only be able to renew their registration online where the vehicle has valid fitness and insurance certificates. For further information, please contact the TAJ Customer Service Center at 888-829-4357 or visit their website at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm. We end the local segment with news that dancehall legend Shabba Ranks is in the island, and he's set to perform at the Beverly Kelso birthday celebration in Arnett Gardens on April 14. Kelso is one of the founding members of the original Wailers with Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Bunny Wailer, Junior Brathwaite, and Cherry Smith. Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone. and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. Jamaican fragrance company Starfish Oils has been acquired by Fleetwood Jamaica, and there is indication that the newly combined company may list on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. In a release, the company said that the $70 million acquisition was completed in January. Fleetwood CEO Richard Cole says the acquisition of Starfish Oils is a major milestone for the company, which has over 50 years of experience in personal care and home improvement products. In 2022, Starfish Oil saw a 26% year-on-year growth in revenues at $67.4 million. The company says, based on its 6 months financial performance as of June 2023, Starfish Oils is projected to report revenues of almost 69 million Jamaican dollars while generating 4 million Jamaican dollars in profits. Fleetwood says, considering potential plans for going public, it is poised to leverage its combined strengths to drive innovation, increase profitability, and solidify its position in the market. Jamaica earned 90.5% more money from exports related to the mining and quarrying industry for January to November 2023 in a report covered by RJR News. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin says the segment earned the country US $514 million for the period compared to US $270 million for the corresponding period in 2022. The increase was linked to higher exports of alumina, which rose by 125%, reaching a value of US $430 million. Exports of bauxite decreased by 10%, however, to US $62.5 million. During trading on April 11, 2024, the top 3 advancing stocks covered the finance and food sectors on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Lasco Financial Services Limited shares advanced by 21.94% for a 34-cent price increase to close at $1.89 with 4,520 shares traded. First Rock Capital Holdings Limited US dollar shares advanced by 20.39% for a US 1 cent price jump to close at US 5 cents with 1,000 shares traded. Express Catering Limited shares advanced 13.71% for a 54-cent price increase to close at $4.48 with 111,110 shares traded. On the declining stocks that traders experienced on April 11, 2024, the top 3 losers covered the investment, microfinance, and manufacturing sectors. Spur Tree Spices Jamaica Limited declined by 10% for a 25-cent price decline to close at $2.25 with 60,025,113 shares traded. First Rock Capital Holdings Limited JMD shares declined by 8.99% for an 89-cent price drop to close at $9.01 with 6,321 shares traded. ISP Finance Services Limited declined by 8.19% for a $2.23 drop to close at $26.35 with 16 shares traded. Over on the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, trading on April 11, 2024, registered a volume of 153,120 shares, crossing the floor of the exchange, valued at $2,398,558 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 33 cents. National Enterprises Limited was the volume leader with 83,693 shares, changing hands for a volume of 325,547 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 36 cents, followed by Grace Kennedy Limited with a volume of 13,308 shares being traded for 51,999 Trinidad dollars and 65 cents. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, we turn to the Forex market. On April 11, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $77.6 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $72.3 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $155.51 and bought the US dollar for $154.47. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.04, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $2.53 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $115.46 and bought for $112.93. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $7.35, selling it for $196.63 and buying it for $189.29. For our credit report tip of the day, monitor your credit score. Your credit score is a key indicator of your financial health and stability. Regularly monitor your credit score and track changes over time. Leverage tools and resources such as credit monitoring services or apps to stay informed about any fluctuations or potential red flags. By proactively managing your credit score, you can seize opportunities to secure lower interest rates, access premium financial products, and unlock new avenues for wealth accumulation. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed. Stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, the World Bank-backed Unleashing the Blue Economy project was officially launched in St. Lucia with the aim of strengthening governance, building capacity, supporting low-carbon and climate-resilient action, and dealing with the looming threat of food insecurity. More in this report.
A ceremonious occasion marked the launch of the Unleashing the Blue Economy UBEC project in St. Lucia on Thursday morning. Stakeholders gathered at the Finance Administrative Center for this pivotal moment.
This project was identified as the mechanism for support from the World Bank in the event of a national crisis, and in this case, that would be food security. You will therefore hear references to interventions and activities within the sector which form part of the project but are not necessarily part of a blue economy definition. So yes, we are complex, but we are strategic and systematic in our approach.
The UBEC project is designed to help participating countries rapidly respond to a future crisis or emergency. The World Bank provides financial backing for the project.
St. Lucia is truly at the forefront of global efforts to catalyze your blue economies, and you're leading the way. In many global fora that I attend and that I represent blue economy programs worldwide, it is here from the OECS, it is here from St. Lucia that we showcase your work and your examples. And the UBEC program now, which is really a 15-year investment platform, we see it as upwards of $150 million over the next 15 years, that this is truly where you're showcasing to the world what does a blue economy mean, how do you catalyze it, how do you invest in order to pivot and transform your economy, not only applying those circular economy principles, but truly unleashing the living blue economy and the non-living blue economy, because they go part and parcel.
The project will be focused on 3 key sectors: tourism, fisheries and aquaculture, and waste management.
The tourism projects under UBEC are: one, to design and establish an underwater dive sculpture park; two, the redevelopment of the Marigot Bay waterfront, of which I am really proud of; a comprehensive demand study for tourism transportation sector, and the revision of the national tourism policy, and of course a further enhancement of the tourism certification program.
The World Bank held its regional press conference on Thursday on the economic status of Latin American and Caribbean countries. According to the bank, the Latin American and Caribbean region has reached a critical juncture, and while the region has made significant progress in economic stabilization over the recent decades, growth has stalled, undermining progress. One of the greatest challenges for the region is crime, specifically the murder rate. So what about Belize? News 5 asked the chief economist for the region, William Maloney, what the World Bank's projections are for Belize in 2024. He started first with the region's challenges.
A second challenge is the expanding presence of crime and organized crime as well, and violence. If we look at one measure of violence, LAC has the highest homicide rates in the world. So you see the central bars, we're at about 22.7 homicides per 100,000 population. That's 10 times what we've got in Asia and about 5 times what we've got in North America. And it's about 5 times the level of countries with similar levels of income or poverty, and it's even above countries with similar level of inequality. It's related to organized crime, which is spreading throughout the region, even to countries where previously it was less evident. And it's now moved to being the principal social problem for 20% of Latin American Caribbeans. It's ranked as a top problem for 20%. This has big impacts for growth and for the quality of life of our citizens.
From News 5 Belize, how does Belize's engagement with various IFIs, including the World Bank, contribute to the country's long-term development goals?
So for Belize, for 2024, we're looking at 3.5% and then 2.5% going forward. Obviously, Belize is a reasonably small economy with a lovely tourism sector. We want to be more diversified. Any small economy would want to, but it is constrained by scale. So I'm not exactly sure what our programs are in Belize right now, but its possibilities for diversification are certainly worth looking at.
There is a call for officials to do more to enhance the skill set of citizens as the push to advance the blue and green economies intensifies. Chief Executive Officer of Export Barbados, Mark Hill, made the point during his presentation on day 2 of the ongoing National Symposium on the Just Transition and Job Creation in the Green and Blue Economy. More in this report from Ryan Phillips.
Blue, green, what does that mean? Those are colors. What we need is a design skill set to be able to know how to start a process, work through a process, and finish that process with a new output. That is what we need.
That's Chief Executive Officer of Export Barbados, Mark Hill, speaking about the approach needed to build out the blue and green economy. But he notes, achieving it could present some challenges.
Moving our people to the necessary skills, the necessary expertise, the scientific expertise that we need to compete. There's a resistance to upgrading our skill sets across the board at a human resource level to the kind of skill sets that we need to compete.
The Export Barbados CEO also reveals Barbados is lagging behind other countries with regards to its manufacturing processes.
When it comes down to 3.0, which was automation, only 2 companies in Barbados upgraded to automation, and they're not owned by Barbadians. Ambev, which own banks, and Point Hill Dairy. No other investment in automation at all. So we're pretty much stuck in 2.0. Well, the rest of the world, Singapore, Vietnam, everybody else have moved on to 4.0, which is digital smart factories. And now with artificial intelligence coming into the picture, they're now moving on to 5.0. But we are in a 2.0 scenario. We don't have the capital, so the just industrial transition also means that we have to speak to the capital investment in industry to help it to transition rapidly.
There have also been some suggestions on what could be done to adopt sustainable practices in the transport sector.
What is the infrastructure to support cycling? People don't cycle primarily because they don't feel safe. So how are we addressing those issues? The waste that is generated from the current system, how are we reusing that? How are we recycling that? Where are the new businesses that can come out of that? So really, and what happens in the future? Is it possible that we could have electric trams? What does that look like in terms of our infrastructure? How do we fuel those? So it's really just to stimulate the thought and the discussion about not just electric vehicles, not just replacing a gas guzzler with something that's cleaner and quieter, but we still have the same congestion, we still have all those other issues, and we generate a waste problem.
The symposium wraps up tomorrow evening. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
In sports, we begin with the sport of kings. $1.25 million are up for grabs at Saturday's Thoroughbred Owners and Breeders Association of Jamaica's trophy event at Caymanas Track. A field of 7 runners are down to contest the 9-race card. The race is an overnight allowance contest for 3-year-olds and upward, going 9 furlongs and 25 yards. In football, things continue to heat up as we approach the climax of the Trinidad and Tobago Premier Football League. Let's take a look at what's coming up in Match Week 20.
The action begins on Friday at the Dwight York Stadium as 1976 FC Phoenix look to continue their dominant home form when they face Heritage Petroleum Point Fortin Civic, who would be looking to bounce back from last week's defeat to Club Sando. Moving to Saturday at the Arima Velodrome, where second place AC Port of Spain go looking for their 3 points as they face Prison Service FC. A victory for the capital men would see them go top in the league and put added pressure on Police FC, who will then need a win of their own to reclaim first place when they face the resilient Terminix La Hoqueta Rangers at the Ken Cook Ground in St. James. In the remaining fixtures on Saturday, 4th place Tiger Tanks Club Sando can jump to 3rd position when they play Caledonia FC at the Manny Ramjon Stadium, and FC Eagles of Cunupia take on Central FC at the Arima Velodrome.
And that's it for the weekend news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platform at PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching.